other things?
I've thought about either, getting into the industry of technology as far as, working with other students and blind people, teaching them how to learn different softwares and stuff. I've thought about that, taking up a certificate in that in computer science or something. But I was kind of like my secondary option. But I'm just kind of playing and seeing where it leads me. I honestly don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow, but I mean, I can dream. But with this whole 2020 year has really taught me to expect the unexpected. If I've learned anything from this year.
Amen. That's true. I mean, I guess, this whole year has been quite a year. It's been a year for me to, do my teaching job from home, get my podcast on Apple, build up my audience, but it's been tough. I haven't had a chance to travel this year. Some other stuff happened more recently that's kind of made it a little more challenging. So it's been an interesting year, but I'm really quite pleased to hear that this college is still running their courses and running classes, even though there's all these issues with health. So in the kitchen, are they being like ridiculously strict about hygiene? I mean, are they like obsessing about it every second?
I guess I'm gonna have to find that out in the fall. But what it looks like is we're definitely gonna have to be wearing face masks. I'm pretty sure gloves are gonna be the new standard now. I mean, and I know in the nursing department they're gonna have like glass, like plexiglass in between lab stations, so that way it separates you from the other people.
Right.
So we'll see how it looks in the culinary side of things. So it's all new for me, but I mean, it's gonna be partially online and partially in class. Like the lab portion of the class, we will be doing it inside the class, but then the lecture part will be online, probably on Zoom, I'm assuming. So that's
So then these people, your professors who are running around the kitchen with you, I mean, obviously they're also professors. So then does that mean in the past that they would also have you sitting in a classroom, with them just talking to you, like lecturing? I would imagine so, right?
Yeah. It would be kind of partly lecture and partly cooking at the same time. One of my professors, he had us meet in a classroom before we went into the kitchen. And then my other professor, we just got in the kitchen and just started cooking. There was really no lecture. It was just a demo, and we would follow along with her, and we would do the demo and stuff. So it just depends on the style of teaching.
Right. I see. Yeah, because I guess the professor could just shout in the kitchen or just stand there and give a lecture in the kitchen about the main points, and then just say, okay, here's what you need to make today, or here's on the I guess they could do it that way, but yeah.
Because they actually have in the culinary kitchen, they actually have a camera set up, like, so you have like a picture, like a big rectangular kitchen and like a whole bunch of tables, and then like with mixers and everything on them, and drawers and stuff, and then like in the front there's like a long marble kind of table looking type ordeal, and that's where the professor does his demo from. And then like they will have like a camera pointed at him, and they'll have TVs hanging down from the ceiling where you can see the professor.
Right. I see.
Yeah, so you can see what he's doing if you're in the back of the room.
I see.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it's quite amazing. I mean, it's just impressive with all this technology and everything, and how it's able to.
I know, right?
You can.
We're making a podcast for Apple. You're also on YouTube. I mean, this is going out to hundreds of platforms. It's going out to all the platforms. All I have to do is push one button, and I just made a show. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Isn't it just crazy? I mean, never did I think in a million years that Zoom would be a big thing. Like, I remember joking with someone before the NFB convention, and I said, you know what? We should have invested in Zoom before this all happened, because we would have been rich.
Oh yeah, but then couldn't we have also said that for Bitcoin? I mean, God knows, if I had only bought one Bitcoin in 2009, I wouldn't have to have a podcast, or I wouldn't. But then again, you know what though? That would be horrible, because number one, in addition to teaching, podcasting is the best thing ever. Number one. Number two, if I had done that, if I had, I don't know, become a billionaire or something, I wouldn't. I would lose all my motivation. I think I
I
would
mean,
lose. Yeah.
yeah, but then also it opens it. You know, money opens the doors to a lot of things. And
Yes,
I've
and
talked to a
it
lot of
it can
people.
and does, but it depends. I mean, it
It
depends on who you
depends.
know. It really depends on who you
Depends
know.
on who you talk to. Yeah, and who you know.
Yeah.
You know,
Because
but
because I mean, as you learned, if you have money, you can buy some pretty dangerous stuff. So
yeah,
I'm not going to say that money is the answer. I'm not convinced
yeah.
about
I
that.
mean, it's just it depends on the person, though. Yeah, it just depends on who you talk to and who you know.
Right, exact, precisely. But who knows? Who knows where this society that we have now? Who knows where we're going from here? Um, but I suspect that we will always want to eat a lot of baked goods,
Yep.
and I suspect that I hope that you will have some sort of a bakery of your own, or at least work in that industry, or something like that. Have you met are all of the professors like Americans, or are they from all over the
Oh,
world?
so my one of my professors, he's a third generation baker from France, and
Ah,
he has a pretty well history in baking. He's traveled all around the world baking. I don't know if you heard of a place called Tabard of the Green in New York. I think it's called Tabard of the Green in New York. It's a famous
well, I mean,
restaurant.
if it's a place that's that famous, I'm not important enough for I can't I
I
probably
mean,
can't afford it, so I've never been, but
but he used to work there, and he used to work in the Bahamas and all these
wow.
different places around making different pastries and baked goods for people. So he's had a lot of experience. And then one of my other professors, funny enough, she actually was a biologist before she got into culinary. Totally different opposite side of the
Well, but
section, but
it's still it's
it,
still a
it's still
science
a
where you think
science.
about
Yeah.
ingredients and what things are
Hmm.
made of, and so that does make sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So she ended up she was a biologist, and then she ended up becoming, a teacher at Long Beach City College. And then a couple of other professors that I know, they own their own restaurants and own, there's the main person there, she's Vietnamese. She's owned a lot of restaurants and stuff and traveled to herself. So it's really cool to see the different cultural diversity come together and that's I'd say the one thing I like about being a college student is you get to see all these different types of diversities and stuff
Yeah. Yeah.
intertwined
Yeah,
together.
it's really interesting. You know, it depends on the college. You know, you go to. I went to. I mean, I did graduate from college in the field of international relations, but the group, on the East Coast, the people are a lot more cranky and it's a lot more tight knit. You know, I think you're
Yeah.
really, out in California, people are a lot more open and a lot more friendly on your side of the country. So I think there it's a lot more global there. Really, my side is more of the political side of the country. Um,
Yep.
so I'd go for California any day. But then again, I've never been, so I shouldn't say that. But
Oh, it's
uh,
nice here. I mean,
yeah.
it's pretty nice.
Well, let's in the remaining couple minutes, let's talk about the accessibility. So this town that you live in, Riverside, Long Beach, or something or other. I mean, as you can tell, I've never been.
I live in Southgate, but it's technically Los Angeles County area.
Okay, so LA.
So,
Okay, so
mhm.
one thing I've been wondering. I've heard a lot of complaints about the public transportation in California.
Oh, I can complain.
So clear that up. So what's the truth about that? Clear that up
So
for
in
me.
Los Angeles, transportation, I'll be honest, it's a piece of shit. I don't like it. I usually just have people give me rides, or I'll just take Lyft or Uber. It's doable. You can do it. It's just I don't like how spread out everything is. Like I feel like everything is so spread out, and not everything is connected to each other. Like in the Bay Area, for example, because I did when I said I was partially raised in the Bay because I went to school up there, the California School of the Blind. Transportation was all pushed together. Like it was more, you can get on any bus and at every corner, and there was a bus, and everything was right there. But in Los Angeles, I feel like everything is so spread out. So it's like more time consuming to get somewhere. So like if I need to go somewhere, I just call the Lyft, and just go that way because it was a lot quicker and cheap. I mean, it was a little more expensive, but it did the job, from point A to point B like that, and you can always rely on it.
Well, good. Interesting. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, in my case, I live in some small agricultural town. So honestly, if I needed a ride, my parents would just have to take me from A to B. But you know, nowadays we're going out very infrequently. So I live with my parents and my brother. My brother just graduated from university too in business or something like that. He's still trying to, get his feet wet and see what he wants to do in the business world. But
Hmm.
it's I don't know. It's just been. I mean, and you guys in the podcast community, you'll understand. It's just been one of these weird years. It's
It
been a
has
weird.
been.
It's just been a bizarre year, for many reasons. I mean, but certain great things. Me being on Apple Podcasts. I mean, that's amazing forever. I mean, you know, I'll tell you a funny story. I got that email when I sent in my show to Apple. I thought I couldn't do it. I thought I wasn't good enough for Apple. And then I got an email from a couple days later, like late at night. I said, "Oh, that's got to be a scam." And then I woke up the next day and it was real. And I was like, "Wow,
Wow, you're like,
that's
what a dream, huh?
that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, man. That's
Wow.
not as impressive, as Stewart's triple play coming to you soon, where he's going to give you the opera cake,
The
the
baklava, opera cake,
baklava,
and some
and
coffee.
the Turkish coffee. Not as
Yep.
impressive as that, because because we know that the listeners of Aaron's Opinion, we're going to make sure that you get that triple play. I'm going to be watching your lives on Facebook. Trust me, baby, you're going to do that triple play. Trust me. I'm gonna be making a note in the system here. We're gonna make sure we're gonna add it to the syllabus that he's got to complete the triple play. Yeah,
It'll be my ultimate final for college.
yeah, that would be a good final. And then you got to figure out how to properly box the desserts,
And send it to
box it up,
Aaron.
and ship it so that it doesn't go stale, right? Then you got to send it
Yeah.
to the other side of the country. Then I'm gonna try it on Zoom with
To
with
say, hey, I was
everybody
like,
watching. That would be hilarious. That would be really cool. That would be just utterly hysterical. So you might have to like add some chemicals or something to make sure it
yeah,
doesn't
some
go bad.
conditioners or some process. I know at a lot of the bagged pastries that you get at 7-Eleven, they're all processed. You can leave them on the shelf for years and they won't go bad.
Yeah, that's the scary thing. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some pretty scary food these days. I don't know, but that would be pretty cool. In this case, these days, I'm kind of going easy with food because I'm just lucky. I'm just glad and lucky that I don't have the virus, and I just want everybody to get better. I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not terribly obsessed with the best meals these days. I'm just trying not to get hurt, trying not to make the situation any worse. But you know what though, Stuart, my friend, you really, guys, you at home, I've never met Stuart. We've only been friends, kind of social media buddies on Facebook.
What did we make? I think I could have sworn.
It was
Okay,
over. You know what it was over? It was over a chess game that you never finished.
that's exactly what it was.
But that's okay. But
Okay.
that's okay. That's okay because you know what? I'm not a good chess player, and you would have beaten me anyway. Yeah, you were. Yeah, we got involved in chess years ago, and I never stuck to that. But that's all
Yeah,
right.
I
That's all
remember
right.
Bob Rathbun was. So you went to the Hatley School for the Blind.
I didn't. I never went to that school.
Okay, yeah,
Um,
that's where I learned
right.
to
And the
get into chess. Yeah,
problem is I don't have the math skills for it, and it's just hey, it's not my sport.
yeah,
But but that's how I came in contact with you. I think through the I don't know
yeah. For
different
the
chess players.
USDCA chess tournament. Yeah,
Yeah, over the long
email.
yeah, correspondence. That's
Yeah,
that's what it was. Yeah, we never finished that game.
I still
So
get email requests from them to play, and I'm like, I don't have time. I'm busy with school. Always turn it
yeah,
down.
I don't with my teaching, with my podcasting. But Stuart, what I wanted to say is you're a great baker and you're a great friend, man. Really, you are always welcome on Aaron's Opinion. In fact, you're gonna have to come back to talk about baklava. We're gonna have to have a baklava talk. But you know
Oh,
what?
I'll be down to talk about it.
Well, we gotta make sure that you're always included here because you are a magnificent speaker. You have a magnificent story, and you're always, always, always welcome on Aaron's Opinion. Aaron Richmond, Aaron's Opinion, the podcast for blind people. We talked about a lot today. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna go eat some Oreos or some cookies or something like that. And for everybody around the world, stay safe. Have a good day today.